Hey everyone, it's Maddie J, the acting coach, and I'm back at you this week with another video. So this week we're going to talk about something super cool, something super fun, something super interesting, and that is going to be stakes. Now, I feel like I've talked a lot about stakes before, but I always like talking about stakes because it's really what drives, and this word is kind of triggering, but it drives the anxiety of the scene. So this is what keeps you leaned over the edge of your seat when you're watching a TV show or a movie, because of how high the stakes can be for an actor. This week, for this episode, we're going to focus on a scene from in this video, we're going to talk about a scene from the movie Little Nicky, starring Jon Lovitz and Kevin Nealon, and just directed by Stephen Brown. In this scene, Big Bird, or John's character, gets caught watching Miss Dunleavy, which is played by a woman named Laura Haring. This is going to be a scene where we're going to observe John's character really have high stakes, and we're going to go on the adventure with him to see how his stakes, first of all, how high his stakes are, and how his stakes drive the decisions he makes as an actor. So without further ado, let's get started.
Ooh, showtime. Rough day at the office, Mrs. Dunleavy. You'll feel better once you get out of those work clothes.
So as you can see at the beginning of this scene, we're kind of understanding who these two people are. We have Miss Dunleavy, which is a regular woman who's seemingly very beautiful. And we have a creeper, Big Bird, or John's character, who is really into what he sees.
And into some sweats.
So as you can see, just like that little nuance when he drank a sip of his wine, because what he wants in his scene, he's trying to obviously see a show. He's enjoying it. He likes to see it. It makes him feel good. So when he takes a sip of his wine, you don't think about stuff like that when you are so focused on what you want. And we'll see how the objective ties into his stake.
Oh, wish you would let me rub those feet. Of course, I wouldn't use my hands.
So as you can see right here in this moment, we can kind of tell what his stakes are. I mean, obviously he's living in a fairy tale land. If he could be with this woman, he probably would be with her, but there's clearly a boundary between reality and what's in his mind. So we're seeing him daydream and imagine what it would be like if he could touch this woman.
Oh. Victoria just told me your secret.
So it's pretty clear at this point what his objective is. He is clearly being a little bit perverted, watching, a stranger from her window. But he in this scene, he has to perhaps see her undressed. I mean, it's still unfolding what exactly the objective is from the audience point of view, but from what we can gather so far, he has to, see a very unrated or X-rated version of her.
Are those things for me? Oh, Scotty Dunleavy.
So instantly, right here we see Scotty, who is obviously Miss Dunleavy's son, interrupt the scene. So what does that cause? That causes the Big Bird to have a wedge in between what he wants and what he's getting. And this is where we understand what exactly stakes are, right? So because my stakes are so high, and what are stakes, right? Stakes are outside factors that are so important, which makes what you want or whatever your objective is that much more what's the word I'm looking for, like it takes over you that much more. Because if it's kind of like, a lot of times you'll hear a lot of people say your stakes need to be so high that it's life and death. And I mean, it's arguable that that could be one way or another, but I think in this particular scene, because the stakes are so high, let's say for example, he hasn't seen a woman without a shirt on in so long, he has to see this today because today is the only weeknight that her husband isn't home and he doesn't have to work. It's so many different stakes that are out there that's making this moment so important to him. So when Miss Dunleavy's sons come in, he's like, wait a second.
What unfortunate timing. Get out! Don't you know this is naughty time?
Hello?
Hello, Scotty. Say, why don't you be a good little boy, go downstairs, let your mother get comfy.
Who is this?
This is a big bird who wants to see the rest of Mommy.
So as you can see, his character is trying to get the wedge out of what he wants because his stakes are really high. Instantly, mood change. The emotions are switched. So his stake goes from needing to see her, needing to, you know, share this very personal, intimate moment with her, to, oh my gosh, I have to get her eyes off of me before something bad happens to me.
Oh my God, Scotty. Is that a man up our tree?
No, tell her it's a bird. It's just a big bird.
So the tone of his voice, the stakes are driving the tone of his voice. So this was what separates an amateur actor from a professional actor, somebody who forces themselves to be anxious in a moment of panic versus somebody who's truly anxious in a moment of panic. You can see it all in his eyes.
Welcome to what? Where am I?
Aren't you that horny guy who's pretending to be a big bird, checking out that beautiful mom?
Yes, I am.
Now you're gonna see what a big horny bird actually looks like. In hell.
So that's the end of that scene. So it was great. I think that it showed some really strong examples of how stakes can influence your character as an actor. And it always makes it so much more entertaining for the audience, right? Because I think it's natural, like human psychology, you know, when you see someone in need and you can tell, you know, if you see somebody who's handicapped in the middle of the road who is about to get hit by an 18-wheeler, something gets triggered in you. And moments like that, when translated over to a make-believe scene, you know, it feels real. So you get connected to that character, and that's what makes film great. But I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed making it for you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you have any other requests that you would like to see. And make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on the notifications bell if you want to see the next time that I drop a video. But until then, I will see you guys next time. Bye.